Think there's no adrenaline in a writing competition? Well, think again. A new poetry contest known as a slam has begun filling bars across the state. Contestants compete in all forms of poetry and are judged by patrons chosen at random from the crowd. If you're lucky, you'll get someone sober. It's the first national slam, and competitors range from young hip-hop artists to bush poets. Leonie Harris went along for a look.
Over 30 seconds, you lose a point.
So many jobs had, thinking what's God's plan. Ooh, is that a message on my Palm Pilot?
Hours by way of blood and water.
Last night, I went to bed with a poem.
Vivian Glace is no newcomer to the stage, a seasoned poet and performer. But she's never before faced a crowd at a poetry slam.
You've only got 2 minutes to make an impact, so you can't allow too long to warm up. You've just got to go in there, bam, bam, do your stuff and make an impression, really.
I didn't mean it. It just happened, you know, a cafe, a glance over a cappuccino, checking the scene sort of thing.
Finding new ways to beat evolution.
I can't believe the thrill I got. I've not done this before.
This year, for the first time, a battle of poets is being fought out in heats across the nation. Performers have only 2 minutes to impress a crowd of pubgoers, some of whom will also judge the competition. And because this has never been done in WA before, no one knows what to expect.
Bring your friends along, as many friends as you can.
That's the thing about it, you have no idea who's going to turn up. And because the judges are chosen from the audience, you've got no idea what sort of poem to present or perform.
Across the city, a very different kind of poet is also getting ready to compete. 18-year-old James Hanlon has been writing since he was 12 and a couple of years ago turned his hand to hip-hop.
I'm played by plagiarists, putting MCs on endangered lists, respect them like dumb raver kids. And
things that probably inspire me to write the most is it sounds cliche, but any intense emotion. And mainly at this stage of my life, it's been a lot of anxiety, a lot of angst, like stressing about where I'm going, trying to ignore where I've been.
So the few inspire the many, they use it to make pennies, then they fall from heaven, make me die 1,000 deaths like Kenny.
A novice to the stage, he expects to perform to a diverse crowd. He doesn't expect them all to like hip-hop, but it's a challenge he relishes as much as he enjoys the element of competition.
I've never even seen a real slam competition, so I'm assuming there's going to need to be, or there will be, a lot of aggression in the atmosphere, so I'll have to pull that out.
No existentialism, prevent from seeking worldly wisdom, try and take note of this regardless of your mission.
Question. Is this a poem or a punch in the head? Slam! I'm here to tell you that, baby, the poetry is dead.
Poetry Slam organiser Alan Boyd opens the competition by showing newcomers how it's done.
She really, really meant it. Question. Thank you.
It's a far larger and younger crowd than organisers expected, and contestants range from bush poets to young hip-hop artists.
From up Nero way. And I know I'm in trouble and I know I'm in strife, because he only eats boys who be naughty. But you think he might give me a bit of a break, now that I'm bloody well 40?
I'm against competition in the sense that you're competing against other people and there's always going to be a loser. So competition sucks. But with poetry, it's good because it elevates the professionalism, it elevates the performance, and it makes people want to win.
I turn the key with expectation.
Vivian Glace is up early in the first heat.
We throw off punctuation and begin our consummation.
James Hanlon's time doesn't come until almost the end of the night, and his nerves begin to show until finally he's called to the stage.
James Hanlon, get on the stage and give us a slam, man.
Never thinking about the world, instead the place where clouds float. But like Icarus, my fake wings became defabricated. Not surprising when my belief was that
he runs over the 2-minute deadline and a point is deducted from his overall score. But he's happy with his performance.
I had an awesome amount of fun. I got to see some really talented people. There was actually a lot more hip-hop sort of oriented stuff than I'd expect. And those that weren't, I was surprised at what was in it. It was just really powerful, and it just maybe wasn't something I was expecting.
big white fences, not pickets, big butt stone, big chunks of white stone, white people, white stone, whitewashing walls. I see white people. I think they're up to something.
In all, 20 contestants take the stage, many beers are drunk, points are tallied, and it's close. But a winner emerges.
Of the Australian National Poetry Slam West Australian edition is Vivian Glace.
I must say that I had no idea. When the scores were going, I just really wasn't listening, and you can't add up that quickly in your head anyways. So you just think, hey, see how it goes. So right up until the last minute, I had no idea.
The seasoned performer has won a place in the state final and is a chance to compete for the national title in Sydney later this year. For organisers, the night is also a huge success because it's unearthed new West Australian poets.
There's only about half a dozen people in there, the performance that I know and I've known for a long time. The rest are people that have just come out of the woodwork. So yeah, it's really opened it up. Yeah, there's lots of different people.
We are all dolphins! And I'm not naive to believe there's one reason for it.
Deprivation is your scripture.
Catching diseases from a lot of hags, secretly jealous of kids that have got a dad.
You're all winners.